Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to talk about movement in Counter-Strike 2. This is going to be your way to start implementing good, proper techniques into your shooting, your strafing, your air strafing, your ladder movement, all the different stuff we're going to cover. I'm really excited to show you. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. The first thing that we need to understand is that in Counter-Strike 2, you are going to need to understand how to do a simple counter strafe. This is purely just going to be holding A and D. Now, the first key I'm holding, which is going to be D here, is going to dictate me peeking. That's my peak. The only reason I'm pressing my other key is when I want to stop my movement and get an accurate shot. And let me actually take this off the screen real quick. Sorry about that. So now that we have that out of the way, when we press that counter strafe button, which is going to be our A key, that is all we are doing is killing our movement speed so that we are accurate. You're going to see pros utilize this in a few ways. The simplest is just this counter strafing. One tap, on pistol round with USPs especially. This is going to be how we move around the map, A and D. The less you're holding W, the better generally with rifles, even with pistols. Glock is a little bit of an exception because you can get up in the face and go crazy. And we'll talk about some air strafing mechanics that are going to make it better as well. But in general, A and D are your best friends in this game. Now, one method that pros utilize a lot inside of Counter-Strike 2 right now is going to be sliding with their shift button. For me, it's my shift button. For maybe some of you, it might be your control button. You're crouching. So again, on your screen, you're going to see me pressing shift. This is my crouch button. Don't get confused. I'm not walking. My walk is my caps lock button. So all they're doing is they are going to peek an angle with their D key, right? They're going to come out here and visualize a fight. Say we're fighting someone back there. They're going to come out here and crouch as they're counter strafing. So boom, and they're going to slide back this direction. Boom, slide back this direction. Again, this is a really important mechanic and concept to understand because this is going to help you become very accurate. Well, why CoJo? Why are we crouching? Two reasons. One, it kills your movement speed. Cancels that momentum to make you accurate so that you don't get punished. This is what happens if we don't cancel it. The bullets go everywhere, right? You see that? They're literally just so inaccurate. You're never going to kill anyone like that, which is the problem a lot of you are facing. That crouch is going to, boom, make us completely accurate. Now, secondly, imagine I peeked here and there was 3 dudes on my screen. I'm in big trouble, right? Not exactly. So if I crouch back, you see I can isolate better. I could even isolate and fight only one guy in theory, right? If there's a dude like super far out here, I'm peeking and oh my goodness, there's one guy over there. I can isolate that fight and not be exposed. That's another big reason that pros do it. And third, your character model is very aggressive when it crouches and slides back the other way. It's hard to hit you. So that's a few reasons pros are going to do that. Another mechanic that we have to get good at is air strafing. I'm going to teach you how to do that, but first I have to give you a message about the sponsor of today's video. This video is brought to you by SkinsMonkey, the best CS2 trading site out there. Swap out your low quality skins for fresh new ones using all of their trade features. I love the filters that you can use to get the exact skin that you desire. I have personally used SkinsMonkey to build my inventory over the years. Right now, use my code CoJo at the checkout for an insane 35% deposit bonus. The best part is that you will receive a $5 bonus by clicking the link in the description. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys, air strafing. This is another very easy thing to start implementing, but you have to understand what we're doing. In order to air strafe, you need to realize that you are never holding W in the air. So when I'm in the air, I am never holding my W key because the point of W is to get momentum, get speed on the ground. So if I want to jump from here to say like over there, what I'm going to do is run forward to W and then hold my A key. So W on the ground, then A, and I'm moving my mouse then. And if you guys don't know, my jump button is on scroll wheel. I would recommend that 100% for you guys. I have space bound, but I use scroll wheel. So W and then A. Same thing over here. W and then holding D and flick the other way. And it's just a nice, simple flick. It's nice and easy. It's not what a lot of you guys are going to do where you like go crazy. But if you wonder why your jump looks like this, you're just holding W too long. So the second you're in the air, you have to have no W holding. If you're holding W at any point in the air, it's going to mess with your strafing and it's going to make it absolutely terrible. It's going to be awful. So that's one thing to realize. Now, let's go ahead and talk about ladders. Ladders are very interesting in Counter-Strike 2. Most of you, when you're going up a ladder right now, you're just going to jump on it and go straight with W. That's the noob way to do it. We're going to teach you how to get even better. Your teammates are going to be shocked that you're so fast. All I want you to do is angle yourself. So I'm going to angle myself off of the ladder on this left side, and I'm going to press W and D and just hold it up, and I fly up the ladder now. Now, these ones are kind of short ladders on Nuke. That's going to be your biggest ladder to really go up and take advantage of this. But even on maps like Train, it can be very helpful. You don't want to be the guy that takes forever. But that generally is the best map for that. So Really important thing to conceptualize and understand. Now, a few other mechanics with ladders. When you are on a ladder, you can do this quietly too. And not to mention, guys, by the way, the other side is the same thing, just backwards. So W and A. I'm gonna hold W and A, and then when I'm looking down, I'm gonna hold W and A this way and go down. When I'm on top and I'm on looking this way, it's gonna be W and D. See that? W and A. And then you can mess around with like all the different directions and orientations you can put yourself on. But that's the mechanic. Stop just holding W and hold W and A. Now, getting back to what I was going to say. When we're going up ladders quietly, a lot of you are just doing this. Maybe you're like, oh, well, I'm going up fast, right? Because I'm looking diagonally and I'm holding two keys. Wrong. That's not good. What you're going to do instead is burst those keys. So I'm jumping up here, right? I'm on the ladder now. I'm going to burst up here. And all I'm doing is pressing and releasing, pressing, releasing. You guys can see on the screen. Boom, boom. Same thing going down. Boom, boom. And that's going to be the fastest way you can go down these quietly. Really cool thing to understand, because we could even utilize a peak like this, by the way. I could be up here and peek. And I'm not the best at this, actually, so I actually need to practice this. But I think it'd be something like that. Yeah, that'd be good, I guess, in theory. Again, like I'm by no means an expert at this. A lot of the stuff I'm training, I do have 3600 Elon Faces, so I'm not a noob, obviously. But some of these things are lifelong mechanics that you're just going to learn over time and just get really good at. Going back to the air strafing thing real quick, one thing I want to say is that sometimes you're going to have to combine an air strafe. Say I want to get from this position over here all the way around to that part of the train. What I'm going to have to do is do two strafes, you see, in order to actually hit this. And the reason being, if I just try to do one strafe right here, it's never going to really work because I'm not able to get a good enough angle to make that happen. You might be able to cheese it, you might be able to sneak your way in there, but sometimes with your air strafe, you're gonna have to do multiple, where you go one direction with your A key and then flick back to the right. So you absolutely are gonna have times where you do these like little movement plays, especially if like you're trying to knife someone, or maybe you're going crazy with a Mac 10. He's on the side of the train. That little movement is also gonna make you a harder target to track, because when they're looking at you, it's like, what the heck, like, how did I kill this guy? So it's a really cool little concept and mechanic to start implementing. One thing I want to show you guys is how to surf, because a lot of you want to get into surfing, you want to implement that. It's really simple. Let's practice here on train. All you're going to do on the red here, the sandwich train, red train, is you are just going to fall off. So I'm going to hold W till I fall off, and I'm only going to hold A, right? So mess it up, Kojo. There we go. Only holding A. You see, that's the only key I'm pressing here is A. Boom. Just had to warm myself up a little bit. I'm using W to fall off the edge and then just holding A. And the reason this works is just the surfing mechanic. We're falling off, but we're holding A, so we're lodging ourselves into the slope. And the point of holding W at the beginning is to take advantage of the speed. Because I'll show you what happens if we don't have any W speed. Look, I mean, I guess it'll kickstart and it'll keep going, but you see it's a lot slower. So W is going to give us that push that we kind of need with this. Boom, and we get to fly around. You can do it the other way as well. That goes without being said. You just got to hold D then. So you see, surfing's not hard at all. It's just about holding A or D, and then you need to position your mouse properly too. Because say I hold my mouse over here while I do this, I'm just gonna fall right off. You kind of gotta get that like sweet little center point. And it's hard to describe, but you're kind of just putting your crosshair in front of you and steering yourself. Really, it's like you're ice skating, or you're kind of navigating a ship. It's really interesting. This game is full of little tricks, little secrets, and it's up to you guys to actually implement these into your gameplay. Now, there's a few bonus tips I'll add at the end. Sometimes when we're spraying with the stonk slide, what we're going to do is crouch and then uncrouch as we go through here, and do better than me. I was definitely really inaccurate with that. And sometimes when I'm even spraying, I might be standing up and doing little micro jiggles like this. So if you see the key pressing, I'm actually spamming A and D. This is going to make my player jitter, like move back and forth, and be really hard. Like they're like, what the heck? Especially when you have a USP, this is extremely valuable. Very important to learn. Another mechanic that you sometimes are going to have to do is a crouch peek, where we're actually going to peek out and crouch. So it's going to look like that. I'm using my velocity and then crouch peeking into an angle. Sometimes if you do this with velocity, you can throw an opera off and really make it hard for him. So it is a really good way to peek players that know you're going to fight. Maybe you throw their crosshair off. Even a rifler who has his crosshair at head level, it's pretty good. So yeah, utilize these tricks in your games, guys. If you want personal coaching from me, I have a website. I'd love to offer my service to you over there. Check it out, CoJoMo.gg. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.